If you want to build custom cabinets in SketchUp faster, the new Cabinet Dialog in ML Cabinets is where everything starts. In this video, I will show you the fastest way to go from a blank cabinet to a finished, placeable design. We are going to build a more advanced example so you can see how the layout system really works. An upper horizontal group with a right hinged door, a central opening, and a left hinged door, all with different widths. And underneath that, a vertical stack of drawers. That lets us demonstrate fixed sizes, autofill using zero, door presets, door handles, styling, and materials in one complete workflow. Start in General. Choose the cabinet type first, because that loads the right starting point. For this walkthrough, I will use Tall Cabinet, because it gives us enough room to show upper openings and a lower drawer stack in one cabinet. Give it a useful name. Then set width, height, and depth. This defines the cabinet envelope. If you are building a wall cabinet, height from floor becomes a major control. And if you are working on a corner cabinet, keep an eye on total width to understand the real footprint. Now set the base condition. Use Enable Toe Kick to decide whether the cabinet has a recessed plinth. Then adjust toe kick height and toe kick depth. If the design needs a continuous front plinth, use skirting. If it should stand on legs, enable Create Legs and choose a leg preset. Next, go to Construction. This is where the cabinet box becomes a believable carcass. Set the main body rules with top panel, base panel, side panels, and panel thickness. Pay special attention to top panel. Closed top gives you one full top panel across the cabinet depth. Open top replaces that full sheet with two stretcher strips, one at the back and one at the front. No top removes the top completely. If you use open top, stretcher width controls how deep those top strips are. Now look closely at side panels. Inset Sides means the sides fit between the top and base panels, so you read the top and base as capping the box. Overlay Sides means the sides run from the base datum up to the top, and the top and base panels sit between them. Full Height Sides behaves like overlay above the plinth, but the side panel continues as one uninterrupted face through the toe kick zone, so the separate toe kick side returns disappear. In practical terms, Inset Sides is useful when you want the top and base lines to read clearly. Overlay Sides is the classic frameless box construction for many kitchens and wardrobes. Full Height Sides is what you use when you want a continuous side face, especially on tallest units or the exposed end of a run. One subtle but important point. Changing the side panel type changes the carcass geometry and how the toe kick area is finished. But it does not change the core group logic. Your opening structure still lays out against the same interior planning width, so you can compare side constructions in the preview without rebuilding the whole configuration. Then define the back. Back panel type lets you choose a closed back, an open back with stretchers, or no back. If you use a closed back, dial in back panel thickness and back panel recess. If you use stretchers, set stretcher count and stretcher width. Finish with door and drawer overlay. Choose partial overlay, full overlay, or inset. Then use clearance to control that gap between neighboring fronts. Now we move to configuration, which is the real layout engine. Think of it in two layers. Groups divide the cabinet into zones, and items define what each zone contains. Start with groups first. Use a vertical group for stacked content and a horizontal group for side-by-side content. For this cabinet, I will create two main groups. The upper group will be a horizontal group with 3 items side by side. The lower group will be a vertical group with 3 drawers, stacked one under another. In the upper horizontal group, I might set the first opening to a fixed width, for example 45 centimeters. Then leave the next 2 openings at 0 width. That 0 does not mean no size. It means fill the remaining available width. Since there are 2 0-width items left, they split the remaining width equally. That same rule works vertically. In the lower drawer stack, I can set the first drawer to a fixed height, for example 16 centimeters. Then leave the next 2 drawers at 0 height. The first drawer stays fixed, and the other 2 take the remaining height equally. The key rule is simple. 0 means autofill. Use a real number when a part must stay fixed. Use 0 when it should share the remaining space equally with the other 0-sized items on that axis. Now for the boundary tools. Use a separator when you want a stronger, full-depth partition. Use a divider when you want a lighter front break. If the cabinet uses a handleless or profile-led design language, add a profile as a group or as a local item. Inside groups, you can choose doors, drawers, false drawers, openings, panels, appliances, blanks, separators, dividers, and profiles. The moment you click a group or item, the parameters panel updates to show only the controls that matter for that selection. That is where you adjust things like size, shelf count, hinge settings, drawer clearances, handle offsets, or opening amount. So in the top horizontal group, the middle opening can carry its own shelf count, while the 2 side door items can have separate shelf count. For example, the center opening might have 2 shelves, while the right hinged and left hinged doors frame it on each side, each with 1 shelf. Once the structure is right, style the cabinet. In Doors tab, choose the cabinet-wide door style, then switch to Handles and set the default handle, plus the default horizontal offset and vertical offset. In Drawers tab, do the same for drawer fronts and drawer handles. This is useful because many projects use a different handle strategy for doors and drawers. Browse presets, filtered between built-in and user-created options. Search if needed, then click the style you want to make standard across the cabinet. Now go to Materials and set the finish strategy. You can assign cabinet-wide materials for carcass, panel, door, drawer, handle, and glass. This is where the cabinet starts to feel finished, instead of schematic. Each row includes a selector and a grain direction button. That grain control is especially important for wood-based designs, because horizontal and vertical grain can completely change the look of a cabinet. My advice is to define the overall material logic here first, then make local exceptions only when you truly need them. This is where ML Cabinets gets really flexible. After setting cabinet-wide defaults, you can still customize one specific opening. Select an item in configuration, then use the Parameters panel to override its local shape, handle, or material. That means one door can look different. One drawer can use a different handle, or one panel can take a different finish without affecting the rest of the cabinet. And if you want to go back, use the Clear button next to the Override and the item returns to the cabinet standard. Before you create the cabinet, use the Live 3D preview properly. This is not just a nice extra. It helps you catch problems early. You can check proportions, verify construction choices, judge the layout, confirm material combinations, and make sure the grain direction and handle positions feel right. It is especially useful when comparing carcass options. Switch between inset sides, overlay sides, and full height sides, and you can immediately see whether the side should stop at the plinth line or continue as one uninterrupted face. Do the same with closed top versus open top. And the structural intent becomes obvious before you ever place the cabinet in the model. Use it as a checkpoint after every major decision. And if the view gets messy, click Reset Camera and return to a clean review angle. Once the cabinet looks right, click Create Cabinet. The dialog passes the cabinet to the placement tool, and now you can position it directly in the model. That is the full workflow. Define the size, build the body, create the layout, style the fronts, assign the materials, review the preview, and place the cabinet. If you follow that order every time, the new cabinet dialog becomes very fast. General for envelope, construction for carcass logic, configuration for layout, and styling at the end. If you want to follow up, I can do one on corner cabinets, Gola profile layouts, or mixed front designs. And if this helped, subscribe and tell me what cabinet you want to build next.